Hello and welcome to Kate Rebus Show. I will continue on the topic why Africa is left behind. For the past 2 weeks, I've been speaking on the topic, why Africa is left behind, but I've addressed the issue of wickedness. So today I'll be addressing selfishness. So please join me if you're on Facebook at this time, you know, join me. And if you are watching me, please share the link. And I would like to see your comments. Please respond. As I'm talking, I want people to, share their views. Tell me what you think. Why is Africa left behind? We cannot continue murmuring and doing the same thing and expect change to come. Okay? Because for us to change the situation we are facing today in Africa, first of all, we have to accept, you know, what we are doing wrongly, and to be able to, and also to accept, change. For you to accept change, you have to first of all accept your mistakes and also willing to change our ways to move forward. Okay, so today I'll be speaking on selfishness. African Africa as a nation, or we Africans as a people, you put yourself, you know, when you consider, when you only put yourself first and think about yourself, your self-interest, your benefits, what you benefit from any situation or anything that you're doing without, you can see, it's on. Without, sorry about that. If for you, who is selfish is someone who cares less about others. If you do not consider other people, okay, in making your decision, in your motives, it means you are selfish. So why we are behind today is not because of just bad leadership, no, because we are good at pointing fingers. The problem we are facing today in Africa is much more than that. It's something that every African person should address, themselves. We have to look inwards, because I believe that it's much more than having a bad leadership. So last 2 weeks I discussed about wickedness, which I talked about. So now we'll be talking about selfishness, that we as African people, we are selfish by nature. And that is why over the years, we've had different leaders. In Nigeria, for example, we had the military regime. We said no, military was corrupt. We needed democracy. We have been in democracy now for so many years. We are still complaining. So please, this will tell you that the problem we are facing, is not about, about leadership only. We might have issue with leadership, but that's not the major issues that is confronting us. We need to face reality. We need to look inward. It's because we, as a set of people or group of people, we are selfish by nature. So it's one of us, the people who are leading us today, who are the leaders, who we are complaining about. They are Africans like yourself and myself. So it's because we are selfish by nature. So when they have the opportunity, when they come into power, they have the power and the capacity to portray what we are like. So for you who is watching me, you might be complaining as well today that our African leaders are corrupt. But looking at our people, giving them one little opportunity they have, that corruption, that's selfishness, because the selfishness is something that is common with our people. You will see, the trace coming out before you know it. So now we cannot even guarantee that, oh, if we get a leader from the church or from, this state or this, in Nigeria, for instance, now we cannot guarantee that if we have a leader from this sector of this, from a certain state or from a certain religion, that we're going to have a better leader. No, we have been ruled by Christians, by Muslims. We are still complaining. The military regime have come and passed. We complained. We're not in democracy. We are still complaining. So please, let's face reality that the problem of our people It's not the problem we are facing today is not just about leadership, please. It's because you and I have not looked inwards to resolve what the actual problem is. We need to go to the basics. Okay, we need to go to our foundation. And this foundation, which is wickedness, I've dealt with past 2 weeks now. And today I'm dealing with selfishness. Okay, so we are selfish by nature. When you think about your own self-interest, your own, anything you want to do, it has to be you. It has to be something that have to profit you. You have to benefit from it. If not, you are not interested. You will not show interest. That is selfishness. And it's this selfishness, this act of selfishness, that have ruined our educational system. Most of us that went to school back in the days in Nigeria, I went to government school. I didn't go to a private school, but I can tell you I had a sound education. But now, instead of reviving the educational system when we were having problems in the educational system in Nigeria, both the government, the rich, the poor, the rich, they didn't show concern. Because why? Because they felt we can afford private, education. So if they can afford to pay the expensive fees for private schools, and some of them can even afford to send their children abroad, so they felt there was no need for the educational system to be revived. And that is why, you know, it gradually, went from teachers going on strike, teachers not coming to school some days. From there, it went to people not even building collapsing. Nobody's building them back. No books for children. When we went to school, there was a time, God bless Bruce Lee. You see, this man was, the time I went to school, in my primary school, I remember Bruce Lee gave us free books. There is a day in school, he will come and visit us and will make sure they cook for us, will ask us to bring plates to take away. We had great educational time. We had great time in our own school days, in primary and secondary. We had great time, even though secondary I paid fees, but we didn't have to go to private school before we had a standard education. But now it has become a big business, because those that have money can afford the private schools and afford to take their children to Europe, to America, to different countries, England, to school. They felt, why should we spend our time and our money to talk about this issue? No, please, the government alone does not bear this burden. Every African person, you that is living well in Africa, you're rich, you're wealthy, you have the power in your hand to do something for your people. So if you have neglected the educational system to collapse and keep blaming the leadership, then that will not take us anywhere. We're not going to get anywhere with that. Blaming and pointing fingers is not going to help us. What is going to help us is for us to sit back as an individual, as a people, and look inwards and say, where have we actually failed our people? Where have we failed this continent? Where have we failed our nation as Nigeria and Ghana, all over, all of the African countries? For us to sit back and actually ask ourselves, what have we done differently? What have we done wrongly that we can address differently to create this change? Instead of just pointing fingers and thinking that one day you just wake up and see everything resolved. No, it's not going to happen like that. You have a role to play. You have a role to play in this matter. You have a role to play, because the educational system that has been in comatose in Nigeria for many years, that everyone is now, going to private school to take their children. Just remember that every African child have the right to basic, a great basic education, just like every other child in the Western world. So why must these children be deprived, good education? Why must they be deprived? It's because we are selfish as a people. If we are not selfish, when the educational system was having issues, we have people who have money in that nation. Back in Africa, Africa as a continent, we can't say we are poor, people. The nation might be poor as Nigeria, continent Africa might be termed as a third world country, but there are rich people in there. If there's nothing like, selfishness amongst us, this world will be will be generated and will be utilized for people who are in need. Because if the educational system have been restructured, when they need buildings, they have people who can volunteer, contribute to the schools, provide buildings, provide classrooms and provide books. The educational system, will not collapse. It wouldn't collapse. But you have allowed it to collapse because why? Because you think, oh, this is an opportunity here. I could build private schools and let those who want their child to go to school to pay money, not just money, pay much money for their child to have that same even less standard of education that children in the Western world will go to school and get for free. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. Please do not deprive the African child their rights, because every child, whether African or in any part of the world, deserve basic education. They deserve to go to school. They have a choice to go to school. You see, children cannot go to school. They don't have uniforms, they don't have shoes, but some people have money to build mansions, to build schools that one a term can actually feed the entire nation. No, that is not how to solve a problem. You have not solved the problem of the people. You're always, creating a niche for yourself to make wealth. That is what I see. And not even, even the churches have also tried to build schools, but the schools are not for free, are not for the masses. You have not built school for the children of the people, or the people who are attending the churches, or the African people or the Nigerian people to attend for free. That's not contribution. You actually build the school to make money. Everything shouldn't be about money. You are depriving the African child their right. They deserve the right to go to school. They should be able to compete with every child on the surface of this earth. They deserve the basic education. They need to go to school. When they want to they should be encouraged to go to school. Not stopping them school, because they can't afford fees and they can't afford private schools and they sit at home. Sometimes you see some programs coming up on YouTube, and they send them, they ask questions like, what is gynecology? You hear what people are saying on the street. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. This is disgraceful. We need to make sure that education is something that is taken seriously. I appreciate you are building private school, but the private schools you are building is not for everyone. Every child, every African child should be able to go to school. Every African child should have the privilege to go to school. Look at our hospital, for instance. I remember years ago I went to, one of the hospitals, general hospitals. It was awful. I saw a lady dumped there, about to give. I don't know. They were not even attending to her. I was so concerned myself. And I said, please, could you attend to this woman? Because she's been positioned, wrong. They have to put her in a recovery position, because the way she's lying down, her tongue could actually choke her, and she could suffocate. I was so concerned, but they didn't care. The people I was speaking to, the doctor, they didn't even bother. They didn't care. They were just looking at me like, where is this one from? Even when I was living in Nigeria, I find these things, I'm talking about, so strange. It's just that now God have given me the grace, to come and speak about it. I've never been supportive of the things, of those kind of ways that we are living back home, whereby the poor cannot, access basic necessities of life. It's not good. And this is the reason why you have robbers all over the place. One of the reasons why people are not free, people are not comfortable, because the basic thing that every child, African child, should be able to have, or every Nigerian or every African person should have access to, become luxury. They can't afford it. And when those who can afford it, they now become a threat to them. They now become threats. They are no more safe. Okay? Please, if you know that the hospitals around they don't have mattresses, you can supply mattresses. You have organized, companies back home in Nigeria that produce these things. Every organization in Africa, please, there is something that is called social corporate responsibility. Corporate social responsibility, I beg your pardon. Okay? And what that means is that you owe, the community where you have your organization, where you run your business, some responsibilities. Okay? You are responsible to their economic, to their social, impacts. You should be concerned. You're running a company, you're making business, you're making profit from your business. You should have something to give back to that community. If there's schools there that are struggling, or the people in that community travel so far to go to school, you can contribute by building a school for that community. That should be part of your strategy for your business, because I believe that any organization without a corporate social responsibility in their strategy, you know, is not a company, is not fit to stand. Okay? Business is not just to make profits, you also have to give back to the community. Even churches as well. You're running a church, you're making money, you get money from all different programs and all that. What are you giving back to the society? What are you giving back to your people? You need to give back. If you're only piling up money to get rich without giving back, that's not wealth. That is living on people's destiny. That's what you're doing. Because you are supposed to put that money back into the system. That is how it's operating here in England. That's how it's operating in every civilized world. When you travel from Africa to Europe, you don't see people standing on the road naked. Even the beggars in United Kingdom and in civilized world, they wear clothes. Okay? But you have people back home in Africa who are not, homeless. They are not mentally drained, but they can afford clothing. As someone sent me a picture some time ago of a little child wearing oversized shoes and using clippers, not clippers, what they call this, peg, to hold it, behind. And he sent it to me, say, funny. And I said, this is not funny to me. This is not funny. I sent him a message. I said, please pack your bag and be putting stuff that you think that are no more useful to you, that people back home are in need of, so you can take home when you are going. This kind of picture you sent to me, it breaks my heart. I don't like seeing things like this and telling me that it's fun. You say joke, fun. I said, this is not fun. It's not funny. How can someone, a child of like 10 years old or thereabout, in the picture you sent to me, wearing a pair of shoes for a grown man, and the space that is left behind is almost the size of his foot. They had to use peg to peg it, and So please, we need to give back to the society. We need to give back our community where we operate. We need to give back. We need to give back, because we're good at saying, oh, the leaders are corrupt. Please, corruption is a matter for another day. But today I'm talking about selfishness, because I believe that if our people can resolve the issue of wickedness and resolve the issue of selfishness, then we will not have any reason to have corrupt leaders. And by next week, same time on Sunday, I'll be talking about the next topic, okay, which will be corruption. I would have loved to expatiate on selfishness, but there won't be much time now. I will be rounding up in the next 10-15 minutes. So wherever I stop, when I'm talking about corruption, I will just chip in some other issue with selfishness, if that's okay. You viewing, okay? That's what I'm thinking of doing. If you have any other suggestion, you could just type, send me a message as I'm live now. So please, we need to resolve our issues. We need to resolve our issues. Selfishness is the major issue, is another major issue. After wickedness stands as number one. And after wickedness, the next issue is what I'm talking about today, which is selfishness. Selfishness is the reason why you see someone, who have the money, the capability, or the government, having the fund to create schools, to create education, to create job, and they put that money, and keep in the bank or invest in themselves. It's just selfishness. If you are not selfish, if you are not a wicked by people, we are not wicked by nature, Africans. If we are not wicked, we are not selfish, there won't be anything like corruption. Okay? We are having problem of corruption in Africa because why? The number one reason is because wickedness is very common with the African people. Wickedness is so common. And number two thing that have resulted to put Africa where it is today is selfishness. It's only selfishness that will make you to use the money that you're supposed to use to build hospital where people could go to receive free treatment, and you take that money and you use it to buy a whole street in England. It's selfishness that will make you to do that. And when you are ill, you board the flight and you travel to England or America to go and take treatment. Why would you do that? Why would that happen? It's selfishness. It's only selfishness that will make you think, oh, this is good for me, but it's not good for others. It's selfishness. If you think you deserve good medical care, take care of the hospitals back home. It doesn't cost that much to build a good hospital. With the money that that we are pumping overseas, can build, the state of the art hospital in Nigeria, for instance, my country where I come from. We can do it. Thank God for the Tanzanian president John Magufuli, who have started, working and serving the people, because leadership is about service. It's about serving the people. If you are not ready to serve your people, then there's no point for you to contest for presidency or for government or for local government chairman or anything. It's a job you are going there to do. I remember when Barack Obama came into power, that man was looking so young and fresh. But before you knew it, the man was looking so straight because he's working so hard, because the burden of the American people was his concern, was a problem for him. So that is what he's working hard to serve, and he did well in his two reign. Okay, so that is what I'm talking about today. We need to erase selfishness. Not give me what I'm going to get, what will benefit me, but what can I give? What can I give back? What can I give to the people? The Bible even says, blessed be the one that giveth and the one that taketh. You always want to take. What do you give back? All the contracts we've been taking from the government, your company is to get contracts from the government. Most contracts, that sometimes they don't even, meet up with, but the money is gone, it's been paid. What do you give back to the society? What have you given back to your community? We need to learn how to give and not just to take. And this same attitude that is affecting us, as a continent, that is the same attitude we Africans are portraying as well. We're always thinking of getting. What can I get? What can I get from this person? What can this person give to me? This person haven't given. No, it's not about taking all the time. Learn how to give. Think about giving, not only to take. If your intention or all your thoughts about, your friend or your family or anyone is about what you can get from them, then you're a selfish person. Today, I'll be glad to tell you that this gorgeous dress I'm wearing today is from Fatumatu, all the way from the Gambia. Yesterday I saw a post on my door. I thought this was a dress I sent to a family friend's daughter who graduated and did very well. She came out first class, and I bought her a lovely dress, but there was delay in the posting because of some error in the address she sent to me. And I tried to contact Royal Mail, and they said you need to fill the claim form. If we have not sent it back to you, since your address is behind, put your address, we're going to send it back to you. And when I saw the envelope, I thought, oh, probably they have gotten. I said, thank God they finally got this dress. At least I will either drive to her grandma's place and leave it for her, or maybe I should post it again to the right address. But opening the package, and they said no. She said, be expecting something. I told her, don't worry at all, don't bother. But she didn't listen to that. She said, no, Kate, I need to give you something. You are so good. You are so good. Take it. I've just, when I got this dress, I called her to thank her. When I saw the dress, the first thing that came to my mind, I said, this is what I'm going to be wearing tomorrow for my show, because I really appreciate, her heart of giving. I really appreciate, and I tell people, when I give you something or I've done you good and you give me something back, I don't even take it for granted. I don't say, oh, it's because I was nice to you, that's why you gave me this. No. How many people do you think one have been nice to? How many have come back to even say thank you or not pay you back with evil? So that is not the issue today. But I want to say thank you so much to you, Fatumatu, all the way from the Gambia. Thank you so much for sending me this lovely dress. I really appreciate it. And looking at my my stuff, I realized I even had jewelry, that I've not used for some years. You can see this. I got it for some time now. I've not even used it, and I saw that it matches this dress perfectly. So thank you so much for your heart of giving. Thank you. Thank you for not being selfish, because I said to her, you don't have to do this. She said, no. I just want to say thank you to you. I want to appreciate you as well. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love you with the love of God. God bless you. And God will meet your need. As you have it in your mind that when you give me this dress, you just visualize me sitting down, wearing this dress and carrying on with my show. Exactly what I thought when I opened the package as well. I said I should be wearing this for a change, different look. And for the fact that I really appreciate it, I really want to wear it so she could see it. I really appreciate you, darling. Thank you so much. So we need to stop selfishness, okay? Please learn how to give, learn how to support. In this place where we live, there's people, the organizations, churches supporting different projects. On the 4th of December, we'll be having a Christmas carol in the Baptist, church in Bexley Heath. Okay? And today we were told about the police family, that have been left behind. Some police died in while in at work or when they're retired, and they have left their loved family members behind. And we are having this as a having the passion, the empathy in our hearts to support this family, to raise money, okay, to support the family of such people. That is what life is all about. It's not about give me, give me, give me. These are people who put their life, put their life, out there to support us, to protect us. They don't care about their own life. They come out every night, every day. We call the police. You say I'm in a place, I'm stranded. They come to that person, they help you out. People are being robbed, people are being attacked. They're all over the place supportive. Even when you are stranded on the road, you're missing your way, you go to them. They are so polite. They would help you out. So that is what we should be doing. We should think about giving back, not just taking and asking. Let's learn how to give back. And if we can resolve the issue of wickedness and selfishness, I believe that Africa will move forward, because we have been left behind for so long. There is no need for us to be where we are today. We need to erase selfishness. We need to erase it. Learn how to give back. Learn how to give. Learn how to support. People they're sending girls and women abroad for prostitution just because they are selfish. That is why you can send a fellow woman or a fellow child to go into prostitution, or to send them for rituals. It's because of selfishness. Because if you don't think you don't deserve to die, or you don't deserve to go into prostitution, then why would you be asking someone else child to pay you, and you sponsor them to prostitute? You see, it's our major issue is wickedness and selfishness. If these two major issues can be resolved, then we will know that we are ready to move forward. So join me same time, same place next week, and I'll be continue about this topic, why Africa is left behind. And next week, by the grace of God, I'll be talking about corruption. So you join me. For you out there who think the corrupt people in Africa is just leaders, you will be shocked that leaders are not the only corrupt people causing problem for us. Okay? Thanks for watching. Love you lots, and bye for now. Thank you.